Welcome to my podcast, guys. If you are here to work on your relationship with your child, then you are for sure in the right space, because you will always have to work on your relationship with yourself. And this is what I offer here on my podcast. So if you listen to my podcast and hear things that are not obviously related to your son, listen on, because whatever you improve in your relationship with yourself will automatically improve all of your relationships, including with your son. So welcome and enjoy. Hello. How's it going? I'm back. We were away in Victoria on vacation, and we saw all kinds of things. We were so active. We took kids on boat rides and airplane rides and bus rides. We saw all kinds of beautiful gardens. It's so beautiful there. It always amazes me in Canada. You think, and because I live in Calgary, it's a little bit colder here. So when I go to different parts of Canada, I'm always amazed how lush it is. It's just, they had palm trees and to me it was exotic, beautiful plants, gardens, flowers everywhere. It was just beautiful. I felt like I was in some southern exotic country. And with the ocean, I just loved it. It was just great. We did so many things for the first 5 days that by the end, all we wanted, it was just lie on the beach and let the kids play and read a book. And that's all we did, which was amazing. That was my favorite part of the vacation. But if we haven't done all the things in the beginning, then I probably wouldn't have enjoyed the beach as much. Oh, it was great. I got so much of my book done, and we swam. It was really cold at first. It felt like really cold, but then we got used to it, and then I just loved the salty water, and it was great. So I have something to tell you guys today that I think is the best news to everyone, okay? And that is that nobody else is really thinking about you. Here's the context. If you sometimes find yourself worried about what others will think, if you have like a presentation coming on, or if you think about what your friends will think about you doing something, or if you think about what your coworkers might think about you telling them something that you've done, or if you have something that you want to do, something new, and you're worried about what other people might think. Or if you want to, anything. If you want to show up in the world in a way, and you're worried about how people might think about you, this is the best news ever. Nobody really cares. Here's the truth. Nobody really cares. Really hear me on this. Here's why. How much time do you spend thinking about what other people are doing? Really answer that question. Think about it. If you really think about it, how much time do you spend thinking about what other people are doing or saying? It's not that much time. It might be a minute, right? You might think about what someone else is doing for a minute, which is a long time. And I don't think it's even that long, right? And sometimes, we gossip, or we kind of indulge in the details and are shocked. Oh, can you believe this person is doing that and that? But really it might take about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds, right? How much longer are you going to think about it? You don't really think about it. That's the truth. You don't think about other people. You are really concerned about you, your problems, your plans, your past, your future, your kids, your job, your groceries, your money, your trips. You are really concerned about you. And this is the best news ever. So are others. They're concerned about them. They really don't care. This is I want you to take this as the best news ever. They really don't care, right? Your parents, your friends, they do care. They love you, and your husband, your kids. But not to the degree that you're not really concerned about what they will think. If you know that they will support you, right? If you, this is not the kind of opinion that we're concerned about here. We're concerned about others, what others will think, the big majority, right? and like your parents and your friends, they will support you, and they will, and even if they don't support you, you already know what they will think, right? It's not like you're worried that this will happen. You know what they will think, right? We're talking about kind of like the them, like the vague them, who them, right? What they will say. And so I really, and even friends, right? Even friends, like even if they care about what you're doing, they really are not invested in your life as much as you are, right? So they're not going to like walk around and think about it as much as you do, right? So they might disapprove and, hold a grudge or something for a bit, a day at most, right? And so I want you to really put it in perspective. As much as you care about you is not at all as much as others care about what you're doing, okay? So, and if you're concerned about what others think about you, you might be experiencing some of these feelings and symptoms. You might be thinking, oh, they'll think I'm dumb, right? Or they won't like me if they find out that I'm doing this, or if they see me doing this, if they find out, or if they hear me saying this, they won't like me. You want to hide. You feel embarrassed ahead of time. You feel ashamed. You might think about the past and regret doing something, and you wish you haven't done it, or you wish you have done it differently. And when you're doing that, you are not thinking about how you can contribute to other people's lives. So in terms of kids, right? Like let's take it an example with your son, with your kids. If you are embarrassed, ashamed, feeling guilty about how you yelled at your son, you are stuck in that loop, and you're not thinking about, okay, how can I show up for my son in the future? How can I help him? What does he need? Which the reason why I'm bringing up the contribution to others, how can I help others, is because it feels so good to you. That's all, right? I'm not saying you should be contributing to others. I'm not saying that's better than shame or guilt. I'm saying that just feels better to you. So that's why I'm kind of offering it up as an option. So when you're kind of feeling like terrible about yourself and think others won't like you, then you're not giving yourself an option to feel good, right? You're not giving yourself an option to think about others in a way that feels good. Here, let me make it more clear. And so you dread the next time you see that person, or you dread the next time you have to do that presentation, or you dread the next time you have to go to a meeting where you think people will think you're dumb and they don't like what you're saying, right? You're dreading it, and you're shutting down. You're tensing up. You're making yourself tight, and you're shutting down all of you so that in prevention of that happening, right? In the moment, even before it happens. And then the other option I want to offer to you, right? If we embrace the fact that they don't really care, I just love it. It just sets me free so much. And once I really think of it as like the truth, like the fact, and it's not the truth, right? Like everything is an illusion. What you think about is what the truth is. So I choose to believe that they don't really care. What people really care is how you relate to them. They care, okay, for example, with me and my podcast, right? If I think that you don't like me, I will feel really bad about myself, and I'm not going to have access to all of my experience and knowledge and all of my individual me, that what makes me special, how I can help you. I'm not going to have access to that because I'm not going to want to talk to you. I'm going to want to avoid making a podcast. And even if I do make a podcast, but from that energy that you don't like me, I'm going to be very guarded and cautious and basically shut down. I'm not going to have access to all of my wisdom that could be useful to you, right? So, and I'm not going to enjoy being me. So you're not going to enjoy listening to my podcast. It's not going to be helpful. It's not going to be me. And it's not going to be the result that I want in my life, right? So instead of thinking you don't like me, I want to switch my thinking from how you care about me. I get to start to thinking, okay, they don't care about me, but they do care if I can help them. So how can I help them? How can I help you? Right? Do you see what I did? So the same thing you can do in a presentation, right? If you have to do public speaking or in a meeting or kids or friends, if they don't care about me, then they care what can I bring to them in their life. Right? Why am I doing this presentation? Oh, it's to educate people, right? Okay, well then, how can I educate them? What do they need to know, right? Do you see how when we switch the question from what do they think about me to how can I help them, you feel so much better. They don't care about you. They care what you can bring to them. And you don't have to bring anything to them. There's no pressure, but that switch in thinking will give you relief, okay? So for me, with the podcast, I think, okay, what could be helpful to them? And then when I truly sink into that they don't, this is not about me, this is about what I can do for them, for you, then I have access to all of the stuff in my head and my experience and my being that just starts pouring out. And I have tons of ideas that I want to share with you. And then I have to do this work of constraining. I'm like, okay, no, just one idea, right? And so then I'm excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, this helps me so much. This one thing, I must share it with you guys so that you also can benefit from it. Like, I just need to record it. I love like this idea that nobody really cares about you has helped me so much, right? Not in like not like in a way like, oh, nobody cares about me, wah, 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 sad, and like everyone hates me. No, not in that way. Everyone likes me, but really they're concerned about themselves. So I love this idea because it sets me free to just be me. And then I can switch into more useful mindset. Like, what can I do for them, right? So let's talk about kids, right? The kids, they care that you're there, right? They care that, like, what can you do for them, right? I know this sounds pretty terrible. Like, I'm making them look selfish, but this truth sets me free. I don't think selfish is bad. I think selfish is necessary, and if used properly, it can be extremely beneficial to everyone, right? If you are selfish and you take care of you, then you can give to others, right? If you're selfish and you think you're better than others, then that's not something that's useful, right? So the kids kind of, if you think, oh, the kids think I'm a mean mom, and then you can be tempted to be mad at them, right? You can be like, this is not fair. I do so much stuff for them. They're not appreciating all this stuff, such jerks. They should appreciate me. They should see all the stuff I'm doing. Then you're like you're in a me energy. You're like, me, they should like me. They should appreciate me. And you can like have your own tantrum in your head. But I'm here to remind you, they don't really care about what you're doing. But they don't. They're kids, right? They're even more so than adults. But they do care that you're there for them, right? And so how can you switch your thinking from they don't appreciate me to what can I do for them, right? Or you might want to be in a neutral place for a while. Like, I am their mom. I have kids, right? I don't have to do anything for them if I don't want to. But it feels better to think, what can you do for others, right? So that's why I'm offering this to you, not because I think you should contribute to others or take care of others or be there for your kids. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am simply saying that when you think that way, it feels better, right? But you have to genuinely believe it, right? You can't just be like, oh, freaking jerks. I should be there for them, blah, 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 right? I don't want to. No, if that's where you are, you have to acknowledge that that's where you are. And what you need to hear at that point is that, no, you don't have to do anything for them, right? So depending on where you are, you need to tell yourself something that feels better, right? So if you don't want to do anything, tell yourself you don't have to do anything. But if you think, oh, they don't like me, that maybe the best feeling for you that could be is like, what can I do for them They don't need to do anything for me. What can I do for them? So that is the example I have for you, is that my podcast, that's how I do the work here, is I think of what can be helpful for you. And that's the one thought I have to offer to you today, is that they don't really care about you. Take it as the best news ever. Use it when needed, and don't use it when it doesn't feel good, okay? They only care is about how you relate to them. Are you helpful to them? Do they like spending time with you? Right? And then think about that. How can I show up to them? What can I do for them? Right? So that is what I have for you guys. And I have another episode I'm excited to record for you guys, but not today. One little bite at a time, right? I hope you're having a wonderful summer. I cannot believe it's still August, because my mind's already in September mode, because I'm planning all of kids' activities for September. So I have to bring myself back into the present time and remind myself, okay, we're still in the middle of summer. Let's still enjoy. So that's interesting. I wonder if you guys experience the same. All right. Have fun, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.